Good morning students, I Professor Rajeshwari Sharma here. Welcome back to e-learning session of GS College of Commerce Wardha. So yesterday we have started with the chapter regional planning. Thereby we have seen the concepts, meaning and the principles of regional planning, and today we are going to deal with the topics magnitude of regional planning and the needs and objectives of regional planning. So let's start with the magnitude of regional planning. See, when I say the word magnitude, so what comes to your mind? Magnitude is always associated with the size or the extent of something, right? So when we talk of the magnitude of regional planning, so it is associated with the geographical space or the particular area for which developmental program needs to be formulated and implemented. So for the formulation of regional planning in India, these are basically divided into three major categories. Regions are basically divided into three major categories, that is macro region, meso region and micro region. So let's start with the macro region. See, macro region should represent the region which is having the interrelated solution for the many problems along with all essential resources of production for the integrated development. When I talk of macro region, so it may be a state or the group of state which is considered for the regional planning or for the sake of developmental planning. So macro region should have the good base of resources for the production. They should be having the specialization in particular resources so that production can be done effectively, and there can be the competitive both the states or all the regions which are considered as macro region can get the competitive advantage. For example, there are two states, state A, state B, and state A is so efficient in the formulation of commodity X, and the state B is efficient in the production of commodity Y. So when the state X produces commodity A, so there will be the more efficiency, there will be the more optimum utilization of resources. So it will get the advantage if it will produce commodity X, and state B will get advantage if it will produce commodity Y. And when there will be the trading between these two states, so there will be the competitive advantage, there will be the comparative advantage to both the states. So this will be the benefit of dividing the states into the macro region. Then the meso region. See, when we talk about the meso region, so it's the subdivision of macro region. So it is basically formed in order to have the economic viability of plants. Now what does economic viability mean? Economic viability means the plant should be, the state should be having or the region should be having the adequate resources for the implementation of particular plant. So dividing the areas into the meso regions, forming the group of various areas as a meso region. The purpose behind this is to have the economic viability of the different plants. Then the third one is micro region. See, micro region is a region which exists at the ground level. When we talk of micro region, so it should be characterized by some feature, like the population in micro region should have some similar characteristics or feature, like the social, they should have the same taste, same habits, the same social habit, they should follow the same culture, so that there will be there will be no conflicting interest between them, so that the problem of ground level can be addressed properly. So this is the motive behind the formation of micro region. So in India, for the formation and the implementation of regional planning, the areas are majorly divided between these three. One is macro region, meso region and micro region. Now we will see the needs and objectives of the regional planning. So first one is existence of federal structure. See, what is there in India? We are having the federal federal structure. There are different states. And there are different political parties in the different states. There are different planning machineries in the different states. So their idea of planning, their concept of planning varies. So when the regional planning is taken into consideration, when the approach of regional planning is used, then it's possible to consider the particular area, it's possible to consider the ideas of particular area for the growth and the development, so that plan can be successfully formulated and implemented as well. The second one is to address functional problems. When I say functional problems, so it's generally related with the problem of urbanization. See, nowadays many people are migrating from rural areas to urban areas in search of jobs, for the sake of education, etc., which is leading to creation of many problems in the urban areas. So when the regional planning is taken into consideration, the approach for regional planning is used for the growth and development. So all these problems can be taken into consideration, as well as the ideas or the solutions to find the solution of these problems can be given. So to address functional problem is another objective of regional planning. The third one is national and regional integration. See, when the regional planning is done for the development of any particular area or any particular region, so it facilitates the national and regional integration, which is the another objective of regional planning. Then the fourth one is creation of economic opportunity. See, if you are considering a particular area for the sake of regional planning, for example, you are considering the Region X for the sake of industrial development. So when there will be the industrial development in the state X, so the resources which are available with the state X would be optimally utilized, and the people who are living in that particular region would be given the employment opportunity, so that their standard of living can be improved. So when there is the concept of regional planning used for the developmental process, so there is always the creation of economic opportunities in the particular region for which the planning is being formulated. The fifth one is provide policy guiding framework. See, when the regional planning is formulated, when the concept of regional planning is used, so at that time the resources and the potential of development of particular region is recognized by the planning authorities. So when the regional planning is done, so it provides the policy guiding framework for the local as well as the national planning. So providing policy guiding framework is another objective of regional planning. Then sixth one is to increase efficiency and effectiveness of plan. When we talk about the economy like India, so it's divided in many states, it's divided in many districts and divided in many villages, right? So each state, each district, each village is having the different problem, and if the plan is formulated at the national level, so it will not be able to give the desirable result. It will not be able to solve the grassroots level problem. But when the regional planning is being done, and even the micro region are being considered for the sake of planning, so in such situation, plan can be more fruitful. It can gain more desirable results. So, to increase efficiency and effectiveness of planning is another objective of regional planning. Then we have to promote community-based development. See, yesterday when we have seen the principle of regional planning, then we have seen the principle of community development, whereby it states that the regional planning should be devised in such a manner that it leads to the equal opportunities for the growth and development for everyone. There should be the equal opportunity to the education, to the health, to the employment, to everyone. So when the regional planning is done in the particular area, so development means when any project is undertaken in the particular area, say the industrial project, so it provides the opportunity of proper utilization of resources available with that area. It provides the employment opportunities to the people of that area so that their standard of living can be improved. So it promotes the community based development, which is one of the objectives of regional planning. Then the last one is information based for national plan. See, when the national form is formulated, when the national plan is formulated, so for what sake it is formulated? It is formulated for the sake of growth and the development of nation, right? It is formulated for the sake of growth and development of nation. And when the growth and the development of nation would be possible, when the states, districts and villages in a nation are growing, right? So when the regional planning is done and the particular area or particular region is being considered for the growth and development, the resources of that particular region are being optimally utilized, then it leads to the potential for the growth and development of particular region is being properly conveyed to the national level. So it provides the information base for the national plan, so that national plan can be more can fetch more desirable results and can lead to the real growth and the development of the nation. So today we have seen the magnitude and the objectives of regional planning. In tomorrow's lecture, we will see the challenges in the implementation of regional planning in India. So, thank you. Till then, stay safe, keep studying.